Hey guys, I am sick. I am sick of people talking about everything in life as if it was a competition. Everything that you do, everything that you, I don't know, embark on or whatever. Should I put this here? Because I want you to see the tree. Anyway, so there's so many people who see everything as a competition, everything as like, okay, what are other people doing? You know what I mean? Like, for instance, like, I don't know if you're in school, but like, I think we've all been to school. Like, for instance, grades. Like, if you got a bad grade, who cares if Timmy got an 8 out of 10 or if he failed? Like, who cares what grade other people got? You know what I mean? Like, if you got a good grade, you know what I mean? Like, who cares if another person got a better grade? Like, they didn't get a better grade because you got that grade, or you didn't get a worse grade because they got a better grade. You know what I mean? Like, them getting a good grade does not stop you or does not automatically make you get a worse grade. You know what I mean? Also, like, if somebody else failed, doesn't mean that you're successful. You know what I mean? It doesn't make you successful. Like, if you got 9 out of 10, like, you got 9 out of 10 no matter how many people have failed. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same fucking number. I know that a lot of people are like, okay, yeah, but if you got a 9 and like everybody failed, okay, it's like a lot. You know what I mean? Or if you got a 5 and everybody failed, it's not the same as if like you got a 9 and like everybody got a 10. You know what I mean? Like, okay, that is okay, I'll give you that. But the thing is, like, if other people are doing better than you, if you're doing well, do you know what I mean? Maybe you'd like to be doing better. Maybe you're like, oh, they did better. Maybe I could have done it better. You know what I mean? Like, that's a mentality. Like, maybe I could have done it better. Like, this person did it better. Maybe I could have done it too. But it's not like, oh, they got a better grade, whatever. You should have studied more. You should have studied more. You should have looked alive and done better on the freaking test. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm always talking about this, but I don't know. There's so many things I can talk about related to this. So in my case, I won an award for having the highest or the best academic record in my degree because I studied business administration. And I hate that I'm always talking about it. But anyway, what I'm saying is that if I studied a lot, if I studied really hard, I did not expect that I was going to get that award. I didn't even know that such a word existed. You know what I mean? We were four people that won that award in my school. It was me, who studied business admin, a guy who studied accounting and finance, a guy who studied economics, and a girl who studied human resources. And she and I didn't know that this thing existed. And those two guys had been fighting for, I don't know, maybe like since as long as they have known that that thing exists, they've been fighting for it. You know what I mean? And I'm not talking about like we're girls and they're boys. No. But what I'm saying is that there are people who see it the competitive way, like the I have to get this way, I have to beat everybody else. You know what I mean? And for instance, me, I was scared throughout the whole degree. You know what I mean? I was scared that I was gonna fail subject because everything was so hard and nobody was helping us at all. You know what I mean? I felt so hopeless and so helpless. You know what I mean? And I studied, like, if I got the grades that I got, it was out of fear. I wanted to get, like, as far as possible from failing an exam as I could. That's why I studied so hard because it was so easy to fail. Like, there's so many exams that I would get out of, and I know this sounds like, oh my god, I got such a bad grade, and then you get a good grade. But like, I would get decent grades in subjects where I literally thought I was gonna fail because the exam was really so fucking hard. I mean, I ended up like, figuring out what to do or whatever, and I did it, but I could have easily failed. Like, there was a subject where I did a calculation wrong and I didn't know what I had done wrong, and then I corrected it, and I was like, oh my god, thank god I found the mistake because I would have literally failed. You know what I mean? Like, one very small mistake and you can literally fail because exams were hard like that. But what I'm saying is, I was studying out of fear. You know what I mean? All I was doing was trying to help myself in the sense that, like, I was trying to get good grades for myself to pass. You know what I mean? To get maybe a decent grade, to get, as far from failing as I could. You know what I mean? If I hadn't gotten grades that were that good, it's like, okay, but like, at least I haven't failed the subject. You know what I mean? Like, of course, like, if you studied really hard and you get a bad grade, it's like, okay, that's a bit disappointing. And it has happened to me, I'll be honest. But the thing is, like, I was competing against myself. I was, at the end of the day, what you're doing is you're competing against your unwillingness to study, because I don't like studying and I don't think anybody does. There's people who like studying, but whatever. You're competing against your procrastination. You're competing against your ADHD, if you have ADHD. I don't know if I have ADHD or maybe it's just generational, but yeah, it's hard to focus and it's hard to study and nobody wants to freaking study. So you're really just competing against yourself. You know what I mean? You have to work hard. You have to work with the time that you have, with the resources that you have. Sometimes some teachers are more approachable or less approachable to have like tutorships and shit. You know what I mean? Like, All of these things play a role, but I was really just doing it for myself. I wasn't caring what grades other people got. Like, there's a subject where you could get like honors in the subject or something, and like there was people who got honors in more subjects than I did, but I would get a good grade anyway. So I was like, I don't care how many honors these people got. I'm happy with my grade. I'm happy with my results. I passed the subject. I don't have to do this exam anymore in the future. Like, that is what I care about. Because I don't care what grades other people got. Some people care. Some people are not satisfied with knowing their grade because they have to know what other people got. Like, I got a good grade. What grade did you get? Who cares? Like, you got a good grade, right? Who cares if I got a higher grade, a lower grade? Who fucking cares? Like, if I got a lower grade, that will make you happier that you got your grade. And if I get a higher grade, then you're going to stop being happy about your grade because it's like, okay, I got a good grade, but not as high as hers. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's so, I don't know, it's crazy. Also, like, I was going to say something about this, like, award. Like, there's people who, for instance, on LinkedIn, there's people who, like, supposedly I'm connections with or whatever, and there's people who saw the post and they didn't like it, and they were good students. Some of them were good students, and it's like, honey, if you are envious about this thing, because, like, listen, I heard a friend told me that a friend of hers who's dating, and let's say a former friend of mine, like, he told her something that seemed like, because he asked, okay, so that was really confusing. I have a friend who has a friend who's dating a former friend of mine, right? So the boyfriend asked my friend, hey, do you know what, like, average grade Anna got? Because, my girlfriend, my former friend, got this grade, so I don't, like, do you know what grade she got? And my friend was like, oh my god, dude, like, I don't freaking know. Like, I never asked her. We never talked about it. Like, I don't know, dude. You know what I mean? Like, it was envy. She was probably talking about it like, I can't believe it. Did she get a higher grade? You know what I mean? Like, maybe I got a higher grade than hers. You know what I mean? Maybe she thought she was going to win. I don't know if she knew about that. I was going to say competition. No. If she knew about that award or whatever. But it's like, listen, I'm like, if you really wanted that shit, you should have studied harder. You know what I mean? Like, it was really hard to get this thing. Like, I am surprised that I got it because I was never competing to be the best in the class. Like, there were so many times, like, I thought that there was people with higher grades than me because there were so many subjects where people would get higher grades than me. But maybe because I was consistent with, let's say, good grades or decent grades, like, my average grade was good, but maybe other people's grades were really really good in some subjects and they were really bad in other subjects, or they probably even failed some subjects, which, you know what I mean, kills your not your average grade, your record a little bit. I remember I had a classmate when I was in what the heck, I'm getting called. Don't call me, I'm making a video. Anyway, so, oh my god, that was that was not a clap, that was a slap. Anyway, what was I gonna say? Yeah, I had a classmate when I was in high school. He would only ask me what grade I got whenever he would grade a higher grade than me. Usually I would get higher grades than him, but let's say the 5 times that he got a higher grade than me, he would ask me, what grade did you got? Let's say I got 8.5 and he got, I don't know, 9.3. And I would tell him, I got an 8.5. And you? And he was like, I got a 9.3. And I was like, cool. Honey, do you think I give a fuck what grade you got? Do you think I give a fuck? I'm studying for myself. Do you think I think about you when I study? Do you think I think about you when I study? Like, oh, I wonder what grade he's gonna get. I wonder how hard he's studying. I don't give a fuck, dude. I mean, listen, I understand the competition is like competition, right? Like, for instance, like in business, you have to know what other people are doing. Because if somebody else is doing something that you're not doing, you can lose your fucking company. You can go bankrupt because you're not adapting to what other people are doing. You're not paying attention to what's going on. But this is not a life or death situation. You know what I mean? This is not like, oh my god, only one person can pass and then everybody else is going to fail. Okay, then I'm going to fight to get the highest grade to pass and then everybody else can go fuck themselves. I don't care. You know what I mean? But this is not a life or death situation. You know what I mean? Just because I did well in a thing doesn't mean you did badly. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't mean just like me, like getting this or that grade, me being, let's say, somewhat successful does not mean you're less successful. Like, maybe you're less successful compared to me, or maybe I am less successful compared to someone else. You know what I mean? In that freaking award or awards, whatever, like, there was an award for each of the degrees, but then there was an award for each faculty. My faculty didn't have that award, but the person who won the award for all the economics, business, whatever subject. It was a girl from marketing, from the marketing degree. You know what I mean? I didn't win that. She got a higher grade than I did. And there was also an award for the person who got the highest grade out of the entire university, out of all of us. And it was a guy from engineering. I don't know what type of engineering, but it was a guy from engineering. If I was competitive, if I was envious, because it's not even being competitive, it's being envious. I could have been envious about that guy. I could have been like, oh my god, what if I had gotten the highest grade out of everybody? Like that would have been so slay. Damn. Like I feel so bad because he won. You know what I mean? Like he won. Like he's the winner. Like the winner of the winners. Do you know what I mean? Like, do you think I was unhappy about that? I was happy to be there. I did not even know that fucking thing existed. I didn't even know I was gonna win that thing. I didn't even know it was the highest freaking, what do you call it, academic record. I always forget the word. Do you know what I mean? Like, I didn't even know I was gonna be here. I didn't even know this thing existed. I'm just so happy to be here. I'm thrilled. Just winning one fucking award was enough. There's people who won 3 awards. There's people who won 2. There's people who won, I don't fucking know. I was just happy to be there. Do you think I compare myself to these people? Like the girl from medicine, she was sitting next to me. She won 3 awards. I don't want to study medicine. I'm not in her path. She and I have completely different paths. Like, do you think I give a fuck how many things she won? Like, I'm happy for her, like, slay, you know what I mean? And if I had won 3 thingies, like, I would have been happy as well. But it's like, I'm not going to compare myself to you. Do I want to be you? No. I want to be me. I chose this degree. And I'm happy with how hard I worked. Who cares if I won the thingy for all of the business degrees? Who cares if I won the thingy for like the entire university? It's symbolic. At the end of the day, it is symbolic. We got 600 euros. Okay, that was not symbolic. That was money. But the thing is, like, at the end of the day, like, nobody's going to remember next year who the fuck won this year. Nobody's going to remember a month from now. Like, as a matter of fact, nobody remembers right now that there was such event and such awards. You know what I mean? Like, nobody gives a fuck at the end of the day. You know what I mean? You have to be happy with what you're achieving and what you're doing. And if you're not happy with what you're achieving and what you're doing, you have to work harder. Because at the end of the day, you're competing against yourself. You know what I mean? I wasn't competing against these people. If I had wanted to win more awards or whatever, I should have studied harder. That's it. I didn't, let's say, lose to X, Y, and Z because they won. No, I lost to X, Y, and Z because I didn't study hard enough. It was in my hand. It was in my control or under my control or something like that. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, you're competing against yourself. If you go to a competition, right? A contest or whatever, you don't know what other people are going to do. You know what I mean? If you want to be better than the rest, you're going to do just enough. If you knew what other people are going to do, you would do just enough to beat them. But when you're competing against yourself, you're going to want to prove yourself that you can do it perfectly. You're going to be a perfectionist. You're going to be like, I'm going to kill this because I want to do this for myself. You know what I mean? Like, I want to prove to myself that I can do this. This is so itchy because it's wool. Anyway, and you're going to prove to yourself things. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to do just enough to beat other people, you're not going to do it well enough. If you're just there to be better than other people, you're not going to be good enough because you're just there to be better than. You're not there to excel. You're not there to do great. You're not there to work hard. You're not there to work hard. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's kind of all I wanted to say. You're competing against yourself. Do things to improve the way that you're doing things. Take this as a grain of salt because I procrastinate. I'm not the most productive or whatever, you know, I distract myself, you know what I mean? I'm a freaking mess right now. Like, actually, I have a few finals in a few days from today, and there's things that I haven't started studying, so it's, you know, take my advice with a grain of salt, you know? But what I'm saying is that it is you that you're competing against. It's not about what other people are doing and how they're doing. It's about how you are doing things and how you can improve doing things. It's not about other people. You shouldn't give a fuck what they're doing because they don't give a fuck what you're doing. And at the end of the day, nobody's going to remember any of this. So, chillax. So, yeah, I'm going to go back to studying. And, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.